Hello coders. In this video, I'm going to show you how easily you can create this beautiful eye-catching background animation using only HTML and CSS. First of all, let me show you what's going on here. The background of the page is a linear gradient background and it is changing its color every 5 seconds. See those squares moving from bottom to top? They are creating a beautiful background animation. As the squares approach the top, they change into circles and slowly fade away. That's just what's happening here. So without diving into the complexity, let's start the code. At first, create a container and add a heading tag to it, or you can skip it out if you prefer. Create another division for background. Now, we're going to use the HTML list tag to create multiple squares in the background. Actually, 11 squares. Write the basic CSS code and change the font family if you have added a heading tag to your HTML file. To center the header, we can change the position of the container class, and we will also set the width of the container. The z-index is used to ensure that this particular tag will appear above all other tags in the screen. Make some changes to the heading style, such as changing the color to transparent, increasing the font size, and centering the text, and you'll need to use the WebKit text stroke property to add a border around the text. Change the background color, width, and height, and now we're going to make the text stroke color white because earlier the background color was white, and if we made the text stroke color white, we couldn't see the text. We could change the normal background to a linear gradient background, but we won't, because we're going to create a layer on top of the background with the help of a before selector that will have one side dark and one side light. To make the squares fill the screen, change the width and height of the parent tag. Now we will make some squares. First, change the list style property to none to make the black dots disappear. Then set the background, width, and height of all squares. We will change the width and height of each square later. Now we are going to change the width, height, and position of each square separately. To select each square separately, we will use the nthchild pseudo class. We will randomize the width, height, and especially the horizontal position of each square. You can make this randomization your own way. If you want, you can also use my randomization. You might notice 2 scroll bars appearing, which is because the squares go beyond their parent container, which is the squares class. To fix this, we'll change the overflow property of the squares class to hidden. This will ensure that the squares stay within their container, and the scroll bars will disappear. To animate squares, we'll use the animation property and specify its name, duration, and how many times it should repeat. Also, don't forget that we need to change the vertical position of the squares, since the animation will begin from the bottom. Now we are going to write how our animation will work. In simple words, our animation will make the squares move from the bottom to the top while rotating. We will add a fade-out effect to the squares. As they move from the bottom to the top, they will gradually disappear, creating a smooth and subtle transition. Additionally, to turn the squares into circles, we'll modify the border radius property. This change will give the squares rounded edges, transforming them into circles. Our square animation is almost perfect, but there's a small improvement we can make. Currently, the squares move up in a regular order, one after the other. To make it more interesting, we'll randomize the animation by changing the duration and the delay time for each square. This will make the squares move in a more varied and unpredictable pattern, adding a touch of excitement and uniqueness to our animation. In this case, too, you can create your own randomization or use my randomization if you prefer. Now that the squares animation is finished, we'll move on to the background animation. Just like before, we'll use the animation property and specify its name, duration, delay, and how many times it should repeat. And the good news is that creating the background animation will be easy and quick. We've already completed a significant part by adding a linear gradient layer on top of the background. Now, all we need to do is change the background color to bring our animation to life. Congratulations! This is the fantastic animation we've created together. With creativity and dedication, we've brought life to the squares and designed a captivating background animation. I hope you had as much fun making it as I did guiding you through the process. And as you know, this is the first video where I've included audio. I value your feedback and would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Please let me know if you enjoyed the addition of narration and explanation, or if you prefer background music without any voiceover. Your opinions matter, and I want to create content that you truly enjoy. Thank you for joining me on this exciting journey. If you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with more exciting content, and I'll see you next time.